I've seen some people. This kind of annoys me here, Blankers, which shocker. I never get annoyed. That people are getting impatient with the Astros offseason. That people have said they've been a little disappointed with what they've seen since like the start of the winter meetings. They've seen names like Judge come off the board, Trey Turner's come off the board, Bogart's the latest and greatest, Nimmo the latest and greatest as well. Verlander obviously left. The Astros have brought in Jose Abreu, but they thought after the Abreu that the Astros were going to act aggressively, go out, get a Contreras, get something done with an outfielder already. And I've seen some folks getting impatient that they haven't gotten something else done to this point.
Folks are playing greedy. They're overly aggressively greedy, and they don't need to be. I mean, it's not like you're trying to rebuild the Florida Marlins or reload the Milwaukee Brewers at a mid-level price, and you're looking for, or the fact that you didn't need the biggest of big names on the market, and you got arguably the best guy at first base. But I think that patience is a virtue, and in this case, patience is actually going to fall into your favor because in a lot of cases, the price will go down a little bit. The demand will go down a little bit for the players that you're still interested in. And and the main players that you're interested in are still out there. Yeah, sure, Nimmo went away, but there's still plenty of other guys. There's still Benintendi, but there's still your own that could come back, like Brantley and Vasquez. There's enough guys out there that you can still improve, and you don't have to break the bank to do so. To where I just think that those people that are getting cranky because they haven't done anything since the winter meeting started are just a little bit greedy for my blood. Just slow down a little bit, take a beverage and a recliner, and you're going to be fine.
See, I'm on the opposite end of it as well, I honestly. I feel like you should feel, not you specifically, you generally, that you Astro fans should feel good about having a wise owner. Because you can look at the Montero deal and say, oh, it looks a little bit inflated. 3 years, whatever, 3-year deal. Jose Abreu, you look at that. Again, not a crazy deal. Short term, and actually it's looking better and better by the day when you look at some of the other free agents that are coming off of the board. I'm looking at this, the Astros being patient, not getting anything else done, because the contracts we've seen, Aaron Judge had inflated numbers and got an inflated deal and stole $360 million away from the Yankees. Trey Turner got a deal that's going to last for over a decade. Xander Bogaerts, same thing, a deal that's over a decade. And Brandon Nimmo, who signs a deal that's more than George Springer made. Nimmo has only been healthy for like 1 year of his entire career. I am happy that the Astros haven't signed any of those guys at the rate and the term that those guys got from their respective teams. So I look at the Astros situation from a front office point of view, and they're making good decisions. I ultimately think the Astros will sign a left-handed bat that can share the left field DH spot with Yordan Alvarez. In fact, I feel very confident in that. That's why I'm not freaking out that they haven't got anything done at the winter meetings. Everything that I've seen from the Astros tells me that they're not going to sign a stupid contract where they're overpaying because they're desperate for a left fielder DH.
The other thing that we find out, Jeremy, is the fact that they're in on almost every conversation that where it makes sense, right? They're not just sitting on their hands and watching it all, go past them. There's no stone left unturned. However, it's on the guys that are realistic for their team. It's not Aaron Judge. It's not DeGrom. It's not those type guys. It's the guys, like you said, I firmly believe, I don't know who it's going to be, but I firmly believe they're going to get a corner outfielder / DH bat. There's no doubt. More chances than not, it's going to be a left-handed hitting bat. That's what they're going to get. But I don't think they're done at catcher. And whether it's a trade or a signing, whether it's Vasquez or Murphy or somebody else, I believe that they're still doing all their due diligence, and they're going to find somebody there too. And the fact that they don't have to overspend, and they're not going to have to be in like a competition with multiple teams to jack a price up on a guy that's price tag's already too high and wanting too many years, is just another added benefit for the Astros. And also, I'd be freaking out if all of these teams were American League teams that are loading up.
I want them to be American League teams. I want American League teams to sign bad contracts and ruin their franchise for a decade.
I think that's what the Judge deal is for the Yankees. But I don't think that, again, when you look at the landscape of how it went a year ago and who your biggest competition is, other than the Mariners doing some things to try and get better because they know who their daddy is, I think that the Yankees basically standing pat on a team that got swept and not doing the Yankee-type things, and they're handcuffed by now being committed to Judge for that many years at that dollar figure when he's going to be very old by the middle to end of it. And even for this year, it's going to keep them from doing some of the things they probably like to do, adding starting pitchers, et cetera. I think the Astros are in a phenomenal spot, and it's only going to get better for them.
I don't need a catcher. I need a left field DH,
Yeah,
but I'm
that's
confident.
the need.
Astros kicking the tires of the Diamondbacks about all their outfielders, mostly asking for Dalton Varsho. Chandler Rome was reporting that as well. Dalton Varsho is actually the name that I predict is going to finish as a Houston Astro. I think the Diamondbacks are going to want to get rid of some of their outfielders because they have a little bit of a surplus there. And Dalton Varsho, to me, is a poor man's Willson Contreras, where he can play corner outfield, he can catch. He also catches a little bit better than Contreras does. Now, his bat isn't quite as good as Contreras' but it's solid. It's good. Like, it's 25 home runs, good OPS, doesn't hit for high average. So if you're a big contact bat to ball kind of guy, that might not add up. But he's a player that can play the outfield. He can catch a little bit. He's a poor man's Willson Contreras. I would love Dalton Varsho. It might not have the name value, the cachet, be a sexy pickup, but I think it's a poor man's Contreras, and you're not paying anywhere near Willson Contreras.
And the Astros have found a way to make deals with Arizona in the past, so it's someone that it's a team they're familiar with.
Yeah, but not this regime. Like, I mean, that was Luno. I don't think you can really use that as an example. I know that they've worked with him, but I mean, that was Luno.
Luno made the Greinke deal?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying, but they've worked with him before. I'm speaking from the experience of knowing, like, when Darryl could work with the Sacramento Kings, Darryl would, and most times he fleeced them, but he would work with the Sacramento Kings before anybody else because he had a working relationship with them. He also kind of burned the bridge of relationships with about 15 GMs in the league. But a lot of times it's good to know that teams have done deals in the past because it's a lot easier to get the deal done and you know who you're dealing with. But you make the point, and it's valid.
Ocho says I need another starting pitcher who can go at least 7 innings per game regularly. We only have Fromber now that JV is gone. Urquidy was next best, but he fell out of the rotation. I don't need another starter. The Astros have 6 starters that are all very, very good. I want a 6-man rotation, limit their innings that way. And then the Astros also have they had the very best bullpen in all of baseball last year. Like, the Astros their bullpen can hold down the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. And that's assuming that the starters only go 5. So I disagree with you there, Ocho. 4683. I do want the Astros to sign at least one lefty reliever. I'm so over here in signing a lefty reliever. Like, there is a 3-batter minimum in Major League Baseball right now. The Astros have righties who are better against lefties than lefties are against lefties. You do not need a lefty reliever in today's day and age in Major League Baseball. If they go sign one, whatever, but I'm not going to sit here and like die on a hill that the Astros need a lefty.
The only way it happened, we know Dusty is old school and likes to have a lefty in the bullpen. Mm-hmm. So if Dusty can talk to Reggie and Bags and get something done, then so be it. But the only need that I see that they have that I think we're both in agreement on, I believe they need and will do something for a corner outfielder DH type. Other than that, anything that they get is cake. They may address catcher. They may address a left-handed pitcher. But in that order, I don't think that it's anything that's pressing other than getting one more bat.